Plug Technologies Inc. is a manufacturer of high-quality pipe plugs and testing equipment. This short video will show you how to swap out an old Bladder Max bladder for a new one. Our Bladder Max manhole vacuum head assemblies are used in conjunction with our MaxVac Venturi Pump 2 to quickly evacuate air from a manhole to allow a contractor to perform a manhole vacuum test. For this demonstration, we will be using a 21 to 27-inch Bladder Max and swapping its bladder for a 55-2127B replacement bladder. We will begin by removing the hardware components of the Bladder Max 21 to 27-inch. To do this, you will need the following tools: a utility blade, a strap wrench or pipe wrench that has a 1.5-inch opening, a 9/16 wrench, thread sealant tape, a 5/8 and 17mm wrench, soapy water in a spray bottle, P80 emulsion in a spray bottle, a long, durable flathead screwdriver, and a dead blow hammer, preferably plastic. Now that you have your tools needed, let's begin. First, disconnect the following components. Remove the adjustable cross brace and set it aside. Remove the cam lock kit using the pipe wrench or strap wrench. Remove both the vacuum and inflation gauges using the 9/16-inch wrench. Remove vertical brace using 5/8-inch and 17mm wrenches. Disconnect the inflation line on the bottom from the bladder using the 9/16-inch wrench. Now there should only be the bladder left on the Bladder Max frame. Use a utility knife to carefully cut the old bladder from the frame. With the frame clear, we can now install the new bladder. First, note which of the two studs has a brass plug in it and which does not. The stud without a plug is our inflation port and must be aligned with the mounting hole that we disconnected the inflation line from earlier. Bring the bladder down on top of the frame and align it like this. With your alignment correct, shim the bladder over the frame like this and apply either P80 emulsion, if available, or soapy water like this. Now use the screwdriver and a dead blow hammer to lift the studs onto the frame like this. Take care to not allow your alignment to the mounting holes to become misaligned. When the studs are both on the frame, you can tap around the bladder with the dead blow hammer until the studs fall into the mounting holes. Apply thread tape sealant to the inflation line on the underside of the frame and reattach the line to the new bladder with a 9/16 wrench. Now we will reinstall the hardware. First, take the vertical brace with its installation nut and bolt and attach it to the Bladder Max frame using the 5/8-inch wrench to tighten the bolt and the 17mm wrench to hold the nut in place. Tighten firmly till snug. Do not over-tighten. Next, take the 2.5-inch inflation gauge. Apply thread tape sealant 2 loops in a clockwise rotation if needed. Tighten firmly with a 9/16 wrench on the port labeled inflation. Now take the 4.5-inch vacuum gauge and do the same thing. Apply thread tape if needed and tighten firmly with a 9/16-inch wrench to the port labeled vacuum gauge. Be sure the gauge faces a direction that is visible to the operator like this. The last port that needs an attachment is the vacuum port. Take the cam lock kit and using the strap or pipe wrench, tighten it firmly to the Bladder Max frame. Last of all, take the adjustment cross brace and slide it over the vertical brace. Use the safety pin to lock it in place. The Bladder Max is now assembled with its new replacement bladder. Find out more at plugtechinc.com or give us a call at 855-758-4489.